What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Yours truly, Kendrick McKnight here, back again with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content. And this video, man, is pretty much, just encouraging words, encouraging message. And for any and everybody out there that's struggling, you know what I'm saying? I'm just here to say, man, just be proud of yourself for getting this far in life. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes as humans, as adults, we have dreams, we have aspirations, we have goals that we want to conquer. And sometimes for me anyway, like for most times we feel like the dream, the goal is to accomplish this thing, right? And then it's just like, okay, cool, boom. But like, what if I told you, whoever's watching this, like your pursuit for that goal, your pursuit to that dream is actually the dream. That's the dream. The work that you put into it, the work that you're putting into graduating college, the pursuit into being a phlebotomist, the steps that you are put into to become, I don't know, a sports broadcaster. You know what I mean? Like these goals, these little things that you're putting into it, that's the goal, that's the dream, that's the aspiration. You feel what I'm saying? And so like sometimes we feel like the climb is just nothing. Like, okay, like we're just doing it, just do it because that's what we got to do and to get into where we want to be. But really, it's the goal. It's the dream. It's a part of the dream. It's a part of the process and getting to where we want to be and where we need to be in life. You know what I mean? And so I'm just here to share part of my story um and tell you guys, man, like be proud of how far you've come. You know, sometimes we, like I said, project where like I'm only proud of myself if I do it. I'm only proud of myself if I finally get to that mountaintop. But you got to be proud of the work that you put in to get to where you are now. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we feel like no matter what we do on the way, it's like if I don't do it and accomplish it, none of this stuff matters. And I'm here to tell you, man, it does. Absolutely. 1000%, a million percent. Like everything matters into the process of getting to where you want to be in life. And it may take some time. It's going to take some time because any and all things doesn't happen within our timing. It happens in God's timing. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Nothing happens within the way we want it to happen or in the matter of time when we want to happen. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't. Not at all. But for me, man, it's like sports broadcasting has been something that I've been wanting to do since I was like, how old was I in 2010? 13? 12 going on 13. Because I have a late birthday since September. So like this particular moment happened in like June, I believe. Yeah. So the 2010 NBA Finals, my dad kind of forced me in a way to watch it. It was game seven, Celtics at the Lakers. Um, Big three in Boston, KG, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Rondo, you know, uh, Kendrick Perkins, like the whole crew. Against the Lakers, Kobe Bryant, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Derek Fisher, Pau Gasol, Andrew Bynum, Sasha Vujacic, Steve Blake, the whole crew. Not Steve Blake, Jordan Farmer. and the whole crew, right? Before this point, I didn't really watch sports like that. Like I was still a TV kid, like, as far as like cartoons. I never really cared for sports until that point, you know. And so um I watched the game. I thought it was cool. It was just such a cool moment to witness uh the greatest to ever do it, in my opinion. I'm Kobe Bryant, and witness his fifth and ultimately his final ring. And it was a cool moment, awesome moment. But I was annoyed throughout the entire game of these people talking throughout. Like I'm just trying to enjoy the game. I'm trying to watch. Like I was confused. I was very ignorant to what they were doing. And so after the game, like my dad came to me like, "Oh, did you enjoy the game?" Like I'm like, "Yeah," but I was kind of annoyed though. Like, who are these people talking throughout the game? Like, who is those people with the mics and stuff? Like, what's that? You know, I've always been like a curious kid, and so like I want to know like why. And my dad, somebody told me like, hey, yeah, those are the sports broadcasters. Yeah, like they go to school and graduate, get paid to talk about sports. It's like one of those shows where like a light bulb came in my head, like, okay, cool. Now I know what I want to do in life. But it came within a time in my life where I didn't have the courage. I didn't have the uh will to truly go after it because I care so much about what people thought. I care so much about what people may think that such a quiet guy is going after such a massive goal in a massive industry that involves a lot of talking. Kendrick in sports broadcasting, no way. That's never going to happen. And so I shied away from it. Um, and so with that shyness and with that um non-will to do it, like I just stayed the course in life. Live life day by day. Whatever happens, happens, and I was just very content with where I was. High school comes and goes. I'm still not ready to accept reality that Kendra, you're gonna have to really do something. You feel what I'm saying? Time goes by, my dad passes away, and I feel like I lost my purpose in life. Uh, and I was one of those kids that didn't really appreciate anything that was right in front of me. Um, and I've always told myself, like, when my dad passed away, it was like a gut punch from God Himself to finally like wake up and accept reality and accept like, yo, like you need to do something, Kendrick. And so it's kind of like a blessing in disguise. My dad passes, but at the same time, I gain someone at the same time. My brother comes here. And now it's like, okay, cool. Not only do I have one, but I now have two little brothers looking up to me now. Like, okay, and like I need to, okay, do something here. You know what I mean? And so I used my first university that I attended as a way to just leave, honestly. Like, I've always wanted to do sports broadcasting, but the school that I went to only had sports management at the time. And based off of my poor performance in high school, that was the only school that was willing to accept me at the time. I was like, okay, cool. I'm just use this school as an outlet to leave and do what Kendra wants to do for at least a while. And I did that, man. Oh yeah. Every Saturday I was at a party or a get together, not going against my morals or my principles as far as like not drinking, not smoking, not doing any of these crazy things, but just the fact that I was there. Like I was definitely one of those people throughout honestly my entire life. of wanting to be a part of something that I have no business being a part of. You know what I'm saying? Like I was very uncomfortable with what I saw in the camera or in the mirror. You know what I mean? Like I needed to feel like I was a part. You know what I mean? And so with that, yeah, like yeah, you know what I mean? Like I was out there. But again, I never allowed anybody or any situation to get me in a situation where um I wasn't doing anything that would get me out of my will to be myself. Like I said, not drinking, not smoking, or being crazy enough to bring a kid in the world that I wasn't ready for. Like I knew better to do any of those things. So it's kind of like one of those things where like this side want to come out, but at the same time, what mom and dad raised me to be is at a higher being. You know what I mean? Like this person wants to go up, but it's just like I can't do it. You know what I mean? Like I've always been a forward thinker. I just didn't put in the actions of doing those things that I wanted to do due to present insecurity. You know what I mean? Forward thinker, but allow my present stuff to get in the way. My negativity, the insecurities, or what if this person does it? You know what I mean? Like I cared too much what people thought and said. And so with that, freshman year was cool, great. To this day, I would say my freshman year was my best year of my 5 years of universities. Um, then my sophomore year came along, man, and I'm just like, now it's like, okay, reality hits now. Like, okay, the partying stage is over. Now it's like, okay, I need to buckle down. And at that point, I knew like I'm not particularly happy here. I gotta be honest. I gotta be real. Like I was here really to just like get out of my shell for a second and do this and do that, but this is I'm not really happy. And so with that, I had to make a choice. It was either stay here, be content, knowing that I'm not happy, and lie to people that's in my circle and say that I'm happy, and continue to go after something that I've never thought about doing in my entire life. Or do I take a gamble on myself and finally go after this broadcasting thing that I've been wanting to do since I was 13 and shoot for the stars? And I had a very long conversation with myself one day on a Saturday night. I'll never forget. It was when I had my own room. I was in like a little suite area where like two people over here, two people over here. The guys over on this side were two football players, and the guy that was beside me, he was a fraternity. He was a frat. So like literally every weekend, it was some type of get together in our place. And on this particular Saturday, man, it was nobody. Nobody. Everybody was out doing whatever. So I took a full advantage of that. And I turned my phone off. I turned my TV off, my game off. Like I was like, okay, it's time to lock in. I need to make a choice here. And that's what I did, man. And I decided to go after broadcasting. And the first step into doing that is transferring schools. I had to do what I had to do there simply because I, first of all, like I said, I wasn't happy. And in order to do anything in life, you have to take a chance. Um, I fully believe that in order to do anything in life that you want to do, you have to accept that uncomfortability to be comfortable. In order to be comfortable, you have to be uncomfortable. You know, like I could have easily stayed and be with the friends that I did have at that school, but I took a gamble on myself. I transferred to another school where I knew absolutely no one because I have a dream, I have a goal, I have aspiration, I have something that I want to do in life. And that's what I did, man. Um, I transferred to Wingate, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. Um, transferred there. Did 3 years there because my previous school in Wingate, they didn't really accept all the terms when it comes to yours truly. So I had to repeat my sophomore year at Wingate. You know what I'm saying? So like, okay, that's fine. Extra year of college does not hurt at all. Uh, it was fun. Wingate was a vibe. You know what I'm saying? It was cool for what it was. It was that chapter of my life that I'm forever grateful for. Met some cool people that I associate with still to this day. Talk to here and there. You know what I mean? But it served its purpose. It served its purpose, and it was cool. Um, well, I gotta be honest. I gotta be real. I have to tell my story, right? So I was throughout my 3 years at Wingate, I was on academic suspension on like 3 to 4 different occasions, I think. Because at the time, like I think my first semester I was there, like I was not on campus. Like I was living in a hotel that was affiliated with the school. Like when I got there, like all the apartments on campus was like kind of filled up. So I lived off campus in a hotel for people that wasn't able to get housing on campus. So I was doing that. So I was commuting, but I was pretty much a commuter. And with that disconnect, not being on campus, I just slacked off, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, I was doing my own thing and slipping away from what the goal was. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, my grades was trash. It was trash. I think I had like 2 Fs one semester. I think it was that semester. I think my first one had 2 Fs, bro. Heck yeah. And so that was tough. That was interesting time. And then the next semester I moved in with a guy. Um and then that was interesting, I would say. Um yeah. And then I got it back up, my grades in a way, but I still had 1 F. Rather than having 2 Fs, I had 1 F still that semester. And it was good. It was a good improvement, but it still wasn't at the level that where the school and the university needed me to be at. So yeah, man, like I was academically suspended, and the only way that I could come back the following school year, I had to write like a, I think 1 to 2 page paper on like why the university should bring me back and all that type of stuff. And I did that on 3 to 4 different occasions. Like I had to write papers, right? Um, Because again, like I knew the goal, I knew the dream, and in order to do that, I have to do what I can do on my end to succeed. And in order to do that at the time is to write these daggone papers and not tell my family like what's going on because I knew not to tell my mom about it. And yeah, so um that situation happened, man, and it was what it was at the time, you know what I'm saying? And so um I did that 2 school years in a row. Um, and it was interesting. I was able to keep my grades up to a certain point. It's just, eh, I just wasn't engaged, right? And then 2020 happens, right? Because I transferred to Wingate in 2018. So 2 years pass, 2020 is here, COVID happens, right? And I'm good, right? I'm good with my grades and stuff like that. And I couldn't I just couldn't um do my classes for the following school year in the fall of 2020. And it was because I owed money to the school. And it got to a point where like I couldn't do anything. Like I couldn't apply for more classes. I couldn't do anything until this particular money was paid for. And it was a large part. It was a large portion of money, you know what I'm saying? And I nor myself, nor my mother could pay for it. So I was out of luck. Like I that whole summer I just busted my tail and worked as much as I possibly could to get that money up, but it just didn't happen that way. You know what I'm saying? But this is how crazy God works, right? I mentioned COVID. Here I am, desperate for money and trying to get this money up so I can continue my education. And I get mail in the mail from the university. Here I am thinking that it's just a reminder of how much I owed, which they did that throughout the entire summer. And I wasn't even going to look at honestly, bro, I was going to throw it away because it was a constant reminder of how much I owed. You know what I mean? Like I was just gonna throw it away. But something told me to not throw it away. Let me just look at it. You feel what I'm saying? And I looked at it and it was a something about like a COVID relief fund about like people that was affected by the outpour of craziness that COVID did. And it was a relief fund and money for any and everybody that needed it for whatever. And this relief fund paid off every single dollar that I owed that was not allowing me to return to school. Literally all of it. And I don't even want to say how much it was, but like for this to happen within the time that it happened and me having the mindset that I had of just working and working and just saving up money to take care of it. And for this to happen, like boom, here's God's blessing. I see you working. So you know what? You serious. You real serious about your education. You serious about, chasing your dream. You chasing after where you want to be at. So like here's a relief fund. Pay it all of it. Get yourself together. Let's get back. You know what I mean? And so I was just shocked and I just busted down crying, man. Like, that's crazy. And so tell my mom about it. She was crying, you know what I mean? Like, we just had a moment and it was crazy. And so, like, I immediately called the school, told them about the situation. Like, boom, now I'm allowed to, um, now I'm allowed to do my classes that I needed to continue everything. And then smooth sailing after that. You know what I mean? I didn't even have my housing at that time because, like I said, I wasn't coming back until that money was paid. So I get my housing straight and together, and then boom, we back at it. And that was the most grateful, thankful, and just blessed moment of my life. And since that point to obviously graduation, like I kept them grades up. That's number one. And I was just thankful, man. Like this is like a sign from God, like okay, like you need to get your stuff together. Like you got a guy up there and your dad, and you got a woman up there and your grandma that's looking down. Like you need to make them proud, you know. And so I graduated college, man, December 18th, 2021 to be exact. You know what I mean? And so graduate there, and then the goal initially was to go to Full Sail, right? To go down there, to go to Florida, right? On June 29th, 2022. I would, for as long as I live, I would never forget that date. That was going to be the date that changed my life. Like I've always wanted to go to Florida. I've always wanted to visit Florida. I've always wanted to experience uh, that life. You feel what I'm saying? Like go get away from North Carolina, get away from home and just explore. You feel what I'm saying? And I wanted to do that while also chasing after a dream, right? And so I didn't really do my research and understand like how much money goes into living in Florida, man. And that was my fault. That was my fault. And within the timing that I wanted to go down there, like I didn't have the money. Like I didn't have the money at that time. And so um and I was hurt. I was upset. I was pissed off. I was angry. Like just when I think like everything's gonna go the way that I want it, it doesn't. And so, with that being said, I just jumped the gun and just did the online portion. Like looking back at it, I told myself like I should have just pushed the date to the following year, 2030, 2023, and I had that whole year just to save up money and save up money, save up money. So this time when finance is thrown in my way, now I can maneuver. You feel what I'm saying? I've always told myself that. But I was like, you know what? God made me stay home for a reason. And like be with my family, experience this, experience that, work at this place, meet new people, work at this place, meet new people, and just network and just connect. You know, even with the online portion, doing more online stuff, doing more stuff online as far as like LinkedIn, connecting with people online and stuff like that. Like I remember at one point, I hated going on LinkedIn. I absolutely hated it. And hate is a strong word, but I hated going on LinkedIn. And that's because I hated seeing people doing what I wanted to do. I hated seeing people in their dream. I hated seeing people in their goal and living their goal and in their aspiration. Here I am, my ass at home. You know what I'm saying? Like I hated it. So I completely dismissed LinkedIn for a long time until my advisor at that time in my online schooling told me like, hey, you need to do this. Like you can't continue to live your life um being shy or being intimidated by other people's successes. You feel what I'm saying? Like the only way that you can get to where you want to be, you have to put yourself out there. You have to. It's a must. Kind of going back to where I was with transferring. Like you have to accept that uncomfortability to ultimately be comfortable. You feel what I'm saying? And so I had that moment again. I allowed my anger and my frustrations and my just all these negative feelings of not being able to go to Florida just tackle me down for the longest. And it wouldn't allow me to be proud of how far I got here. It's like if I wasn't the mindset I had at the times, like if I can't go down there, it's like this is it. Like this is all I had in my head. to do. Like, I wanted to do this. So now what? You feel what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm doing this online, but like, what's the end goal? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, what we doing? This is trash. Like doing the online stuff. Like but it helped me a lot. You know what I'm saying? Um, it allowed me to first and foremost humble myself and be like, everything's not gonna go your way, Kendrick. You know what I mean? And so it was a moment. It was a moment for sure. But pushed through that. That was cool. My online schooling was let me see. I think mm, online schooling was, oh man, I think it was like summer or fall of 2023 that ended in 2024. No, wait, I'm lying. So 2022, yeah. Uh yeah. Summer, fall 2022 that ended in like spring of 2023. There we go. And even when that happened, it was still a long stretch of me just applying to places, doing this, doing that, and getting told no constantly, getting told no constantly. Uh, all of these things, man. And it was a struggle. And of course, throughout this time, like you can't just like sit around and not do anything. You have to have a survival job. You have to be able to put gas in your car. You have to be able to pay your bills. Like you have to have something in the meantime to ultimately get to the goal. You have to work jobs to eventually get to your career. You feel what I'm saying? Even though this is not something that you want to do at this current moment, but you have to constantly remind yourself, this is not my forever. This is me in the meantime stuff. You feel what I'm saying? And so, with that being said, I did that while also applying to so many places. And then God came knocking on my door again in the summer of 2023. And was it 2023? Was it 2023? No, 2024. Yeah, 2024. Um, Wait, to back up. So, like, I did an extra amount of classes for my online stuff later in the year of 2023. There we go. And just to get my feet wet more and put myself out there more and do extra classes, you know what I mean? And feel like I'm doing something with my life. And so 2024 comes here, time goes on, and a miracle happens, and I get accepted into an online writing internship where like I'm writing articles. You feel what I'm saying? 2 to 3 articles a week about sports, NBA, wrestling. Like, it was cool. It was a cool moment. I think that was from like August to like January, August 2024 to January of this year. And it was cool. It was a vibe. Like I never missed a deadline. I was about it. I buckled down, did what I had to do, man. And it was a cool opportunity, something to put on my resume, you feel what I'm saying? And never taking the opportunity for granted. Like, even though, yeah, like I want to be on TV eventually, but like any little, like any little opportunity to put your foot in the door, never be afraid to take it. Like, even though, yes, like I want to be on TV, I want to do stand-ups and report or like talk about games and stuff like that. Like that's the goal, but at the same time, it's like never turn down an opportunity to ultimately get to that point. You feel what I'm saying? Like, don't not everybody wakes up into their dream. Like, you have to be able to work, you have to do those little steps. And writing was cool. Writing was fun. Like I loved it. It was vibe. You know what I mean? And so and yeah, I did that, and that ended in January 2025, like I said, and since then, man, like again, continuing to put myself out there, applying for this internship, applying to this internship, getting this interview and getting this interview and being told no, being told no. But I continue to chase. I continue my pursuit. I continue to be in my dream and be in a place where I want to be within my dream. And yet again, here comes God calling, and I get an interview to write again for another internship, which is even bigger one. You know what I mean? And I interviewed for it, and I got it. And I start that in July. I start that in July, and that's literally from July to February of next year of 2026. So like I have so much time, so much to do, so much articles to write to put myself out there and become bigger and become better at my craft while also having my YouTube channel, while also doing these things and dibble and dabbling, you know what I'm saying? Like never be afraid to put yourself out there and be proud of how far you have come in life. You know what I'm saying? Like there was many times where I wanted to just quit and be like, I'm done with this. Like things not going the way that I want it, things not going the way that I see it. Nah, I'm not having that. God tripping. Like I want this to happen the way that I want. If it doesn't, I'm gonna just cry about it. Boom, I'm done. I'm quitting. That's it. But you also have to understand like everything not go it's not going to go the way that the person that you see in the mirror's way every single time. You know what I'm saying? And so you are in your dream. Everybody thinks equivalates the dream into finally getting there. But your rise to that dream is the dream. You are in your dream. You are in your manifestation. Did I say that right? Manifestation. There we go. Awesome. And you are in your goal. You're living the goal right now. Even though you may not see it, you are in your stratosphere of chasing where you want to be. You feel what I'm saying? And so it happens, and it's something that um, you just have to push through. Gotta constantly push through, and any and everything will fall in place. And that's a video for today, man. Sharing my story with you guys, man. It was cool, you know, from not knowing where I want to be in life, going to a school just to leave home, leave responsibilities, and do what Kendra wants to do for a whole school year, into where I am now. It's amazing. It's a blessing. That whole journey from 2016 to where we are now, 2025, 9 years. This has been a 9 year dream. This has been a 9 year goal. This has been a 9 year pursuit for me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still going, and I'm still pushing, and I'm still chasing. And I love it. And I'm proud of myself. And I hope you guys are too. Proud of how far you've come. It's been a journey, but continue to pound that pavement and everything will come to pass. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content. And today's motivation, man, like I said, you are in your dream, and be proud of how far you've come in life, because won't no be nobody dang won't nobody be more proud of you you, than the person you see in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? And until my next video, man. Yes, sir.